Across the American West, helicopters buzz low, herding thousands of wild horses into gated areas. The roundups, long hated by many animal rights activists as a means to control horse populations, are now accepted by some as a necessary evil amid a summer of devastating wildfires and drought that endanger the herds.
The greatest threat to our wild horses and burros and our public lands, it's climate change. And that new reality is fast sort of settling in.
Stephanie Boyles Griffin is a senior scientist in the Humane Society of the United States Wildlife Protection Department.
No one who cares about these animals wants to see them suffer and die of dehydration or malnutrition.
The dire situation has led to unprecedented dialogue between horse rights activists, the cattle industry, and the Bureau of Land Management, or BLM, which conducts the roundups. Also called gathers by the BLM, they entail herding horses into corrals before bringing them to long-term grazing facilities, mostly in the Midwest. A small number are put up for adoption. Suzanne Roy of the American Wild Horse Campaign Rights Group still opposes the roundups except in emergency situations.
So this notion that we've got to remove all these horses because of climate change, it's literally absurd.
She believes fertility control vaccinations given to horses in their natural habitat are a more humane way to control their populations. The BLM said vaccine technology has become more viable over time, but that the logistics of reaching herds in remote locations are daunting and costly. Nada Wolf-Culver, a deputy director at the BLM, also notes that the horse population is so large that vaccines alone cannot bring the numbers down, but do allow the BLM to work in places where the population is at least stable.
And then we can use the fertility control to be able to support that herd at a sustainable level and avoid the need for more gathers.
In the end, and despite their differences, the crisis resulted in the first ever collaboration between the American Wild Horse Campaign and the BLM. After the BLM rounded up 435 wild horses from the Anakie Mountain Range in Utah earlier this summer, at least 123 were later returned to the range. Some of the mares received fertility treatments. Of the record 18,000 wild horses that will be rounded up this year, the BLM said 1,000 will receive fertility control shots.